We are going to bring you to a completely different world right now. This is Suzano. Suzano, like the Brazilian companies in this industry, are 100% based on planted trees. We have a completely different model from the North Hemisphere that use native forest. We are based on planted trees. We are planting one tree and we are harvesting this tree 7 years later. This company here is based on 2 words, only 2 words. In fact, that we mix these 2 words. There is innovability. There is innovation and sustainability. For decades, this company have been working with this concept and expanding this business around the world. We are a startup, 101 years old startup. We are all the time reinventing ourselves. I'm not going to give some examples from what we are doing right now. First of all, we have been working to invest 90% of our operating cash flow every year. We are reinvesting 90% of our operating cash flow every year. We have right now ballpark number of a $5 billion EBITDA that we are reinvesting all the time with new initiatives. We have been reaching on this period the leading of the global market in the pulp business. We have 30% of the hardwood business and 20% of the total global market and business. We are serving 110 different countries. And I'm going to show our business model to you. That is not very difficult to understand. It's very easy to understand. And then we invest on verticalization. We have been working on the board and paper business and exporting to different parts of the world. We have around 60% of the Brazilian market on the paper business as well. And the third and last, on the last few years, we have been investing on the tissue business as well. Right now, we are leading the Brazilian. We start from 6 years ago. Now we are leading the Brazilian business on the tissue business with 25% market share. And 2 weeks ago, we announced a partnership with Kimberly-Clark, global partnership with Kimberly-Clark on 14 different countries, Latin America, Europe, UK, Asia, New Zealand, and Australia, with a 51% ownership by Suzano and 49% by Kimberly-Clark. Our business is very simple. We are planting trees. Right now, we are planting 1.2 million trees every single day. 1.2 million trees every single day. And then what we do with this? We have different plants in Brazil. You can see on the map here on the right side of the slide. We are producing pulp. We have a very low average distance from the plant, from the farm to the plant, around 200 kilometers. And right now, with the new plant that we have in Mato Grosso do Sul, is just 65 kilometers. We are producing pulp on that. Through rail, we are sending to terminals. We have 3 different ports in Brazil. We are operating with our own terminals. That is Santos, Aracruz, and Imperatriz, and Maranhão, Itaqui. And we are shipping to different terminals in the world, and we are serving 110 different countries with that. We are, right now, we represent 30% of the North American market for the tissue business. We have 30% of the European market and 40% of the Chinese market on tissue business that we are serving with our pulp. We have several technology centers around the globe. We are working a lot on the future agriculture. We are a lot with new genetics. We have been more than 1,000 clones developed. We are the sole company in the world that developed the GMO that we are not applying yet, but we are ready to do it as we get the benefit from the forest certification. And we have 1.7 million hectares planted in Brazil and 1.1 million hectares of native forest that we are preserving. I think everybody knows that Brazilian legislation requires a certain specific percentage of preserved area, we have much more than what is required. This is the business that we have, and we are all the time looking for new opportunities through verticalization. But I would like to bring another perspective to you. We are entering different markets. We have right now a small business on the fluff market. Fluff is used on the feminine pads and on the diapers, but we are expanding our business on this. We are going to be a very important player on this global market. We are going to have a new plant operating in 3 months from now, expanding our capacity in 10 times what we have before. And we have a partnership as well in Lenzing. Lenzing is a company based on Austria that produces textile based on fibers. We are producing, if you are wearing viscose, viscose is coming from fiber, from wood. If you are wearing, and you are seeing lyocell on your t-shirt, you can see that it's coming from Lenzing. And we have 15% ownership of this company, and we will have a co-option to increase to 80% ownership on this company in a few years. This is part of our strategy. We have been always investing, just like we are doing with Kimberly-Clark on the tissue business or with Lenzing, expanding internationally with different business through verticalization. This is part. And here I'm going to bring a completely different perspective to you. It's regarding what we believe there is critical for the world. We have 3 different culture pillars on our strategy. The first one is people that inspire and transform. We want to set very high targets, very high standard targets, but people that can do it. We are not here on the blah, blah, blah. We want to implement things. This is the first thing. The second thing is not easy, is to create value and share value with all stakeholders. We want to have everybody, customers, suppliers, team members, society, investors, creditors, everybody improving and growing in the years. We want to share value with all the stakeholders. And last but not least, it's only good for us if it's good for the world. We understand how important it is, this issue of sustainability, environmental and social sustainability, and we are working this for decades. It's not a fashion issue for us, it's something that is part of our culture. And we have been working this through different ways that we have been investing in this. I'm going to bring just a very brief overview of certain targets that we have. The first is the social, is to take 200,000 people out of poverty in the communities where we are, but not with philanthropy. We believe that philanthropy is a very nice thing, but we understand that we need to have structural changes in the society. And we have investing in 2 things: sustainable income to the population, first, and second is education for the next generation. How we are doing this sustainable income? With things that on that specific community, they have the understanding that they could create value. I don't know if you are aware or not, but we are the largest honey producer in Brazil, largest. And our revenue on honey producing is 0. Everything is through cooperatives that is going on these communities. There is generating resources for them on the long-term value creation. This is part of this. We already did 97,000 people out of poverty on this period. The second, that is quite important, is climate change. We are carbon negative. Several companies are announcing that it's going to be carbon neutral in the year 2040 or year 2050 or something like that. We are already carbon negative. And on the last years, we sequestrate more carbon and we emit 29 million tons of carbon. And our target is to reach 40 million in this year. In this year, we are going to reach probably close or exceed 40 million tons of carbon. This is how you operate. And last but not least, is biodiversity. As you know, we have native areas in a mosaic system with planted areas. We have been creating corridors on this. And we set a target to have 500,000 of hectares connected on these corridors. We already achieved 157,000 hectares last year. We are all the time on this process of addressing social and environmental problems in the organization, setting very high targets, but improving all the time to have a better solution to the society. In terms of D&I and diversity and inclusion, everybody, this is not critical part of our strategy, but give an example to you, we set a target to reach 30% of women leadership till 2025, till this year. We start this in 2020 with 13. The last number that I got is 27% women leadership. We want to have 30% black leadership in this year. And we are getting close to that. I think it was 26% black leadership as well. We are addressing social and societal problems through actions that we are moving all the time on the right direction. We are very pleased with the results, but we are very humble to understand that it's a role that everybody in the society needs to play. I have been telling to everybody that this climate change issue is a game of 8 billion winners or 8 billion losers. It's not a matter of competition country against country. It's not a matter of competition company against company, sector about sector. It's a matter of humanity. We need to work together on this, and we have been working. To address this problem of global crisis, one of the things that is critical is to replant degraded areas. We still believe that we need to preserve the Amazon forest. I don't know if you're aware or not, but I'm going to give a number that is very impressive. 97% of the deforestation in Amazon is illegal. 97%. Then we don't need to change the legislation. We need to have the enforcement to control the deforestation of Amazon. But on top of that, we have a lot of degraded areas that we can regenerate with native forest, not with eucalyptus, with native forest. And we create a company with 5 other companies here. There is Rabobank, Marfrig, Santander, Vale, and Itaú, to operate on these areas to regenerate degraded areas and to preserve native forests. We believe that we need to have action to solve the global crisis, and we are part of this process. I would like to invite you to join us on this process to improve, because as I mentioned, this is a process of collaboration and not of competition. I think with that, I have a very brief overview about Suzano to you. Suzano will continue to invest. Suzano have these long-term views. Every tree that we are planting today, and we are planting 1.2 million trees, will be harvested just in 7 years from now. We are not a short-term company. We are a long-term player on this industry. We are a long-term player to transform the society for a better society for everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Walter. I know you have to leave, but before you leave, I'm going to leave you with a question, okay?
Sure.
So, 1.2 million trees a day. Yeah, it's all. We can all leave, you know? I mean, after this, it's just amazing. So my question is, what keeps you up? What really, I mean, still makes you think that, I mean, there's something I could have done different. There's something that the company still can do. I mean, what is that thing that, I mean, still is there waiting for a solution?
I think much more important than addressing business problems. We have a lot of business issues, and we are humble to understand that we need to improve efficiency. We need to do a lot of things. We need to be more vertical operating. We need to address challenges that we have on climate change. There implies lower productivity on our trees. We have a lot of issues to address on the business side. But what makes me up, waking up is how the society is addressing the environmental and social problems, mainly the environmental problem. We are going to the edge to have a huge problem in our society. we have exceeding 1.5 degrees in terms of warming from the Industrial Revolution. And this is the limit that we have. We cannot go further. And every single day, the world is emitting more CO2 than the before. Every single day. We need to address this problem. And this, I believe, is a responsibility, the legacy for our kids, our grandchild, for the future. How we are going to deliver a better world if we do not solve this critical problem for the future. And I think this is a problem that Suzano can help, and Suzano must help on this. But this is an issue that we need, as a society, address jointly. And I would like to invite everyone to this journey.
Thank you so much, Walter. A round of applause for Walter Schalka.
Thank you.